Thank you, Madam Mayor and councillors. And so here I am again. 6 years I've been coming here when we hit brick walls, frankly. I'm the advocate for Grenfell next of kin, but I'm here tonight to speak in support of Lancaster West Estate, because what happens on that estate matters greatly to the next of kin, for whom that site is and will always be a very important place. And what I want to say is really that all of the councillors here, it may not seem as though what we're talking about should be of concern to some of you who are from different parts of the borough and maybe have other things that are your priorities in different departments. What we're telling you should matter to all of you, because quite frankly, you're on the precipice of having a demand for commissioners to be brought into this council. And I will explain to you why. When Grenfell Tower fire happened, as a result of the negligence of this council, amongst others, for which this council has apologised, and it became known as a national tragedy, at that point, for political reasons, an external team did not come in to manage what was essentially beyond the pay grade of this council and the ability of this council to manage. And so very quickly systems were put into place and lots of mistakes were made, and we ended up in a situation where the site of a national tragedy where 72 of your residents died was essentially farmed out to an independent management system that is not answerable to anyone, has no normal scrutiny from this council, is completely separate like a satrap in North Kensington, where they're allowed to do whatever they want with no oversight whatsoever, and where the residents of that estate, who are at the heart of that tragedy, because, as you know, this council received considerable sums of money from central government in order to be able to manage the challenge of Lancaster West Estate. We're now in a situation where residents down there say that what they have now is worse than the TMO, which is really something to be ashamed of, considering that the TMO was not held in very high esteem, as the decisions that the TMO made were also responsible for the tragedy. So the problem you have is one of management and structure. You cannot farm out Lancaster West Estate, which is the largest estate in this borough, to an unaccountable management system where allocations are made willy-nilly with no scrutiny, where as David said, the Henry Dickens estate refurbishment happened because it's the council that actually controlled and have organised that refurbishment. But with Lancaster West Estate, there's this special team, the W11 team. They're not answerable to anyone. And what you've done beyond that, which is really mind-blowing, is that you've then said that the local RA, which is just ordinary citizens without the skill set that is required from such a complex situation, are the go-to people to make massive decisions that have a huge impact on the lives of 2,000 residents that live on your largest estate in this borough. The shambles down there is beyond, you couldn't make it up, literally. You could not make it up. So all this money was given by central government for refurbishment of Lancaster West Estate, and there have been 40 windows put in. Bilal talks about the leaseholders on Lancaster West Estate having to pay greater sums or just under £150, I think it was, for their flat compared to a luxury apartment block in Chelsea. So it should concern all of you, all you councillors, unless you're willing to take this to the wall. And I'm telling you that's where it's headed. Because central government cannot sit by and allow this council to do what it's doing to those residents, particularly since the future of the tower is imminent, so that site is still a place of national importance, and and you're not managing it at all well. You're not managing it. You are failing on Lancaster West Estate, 6 years on.
Councillor Simmons, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Kimia, for bringing this difficult matter to full council and to encapsulating the issues so clearly. I just want to confirm and mention in my casework in Nottingdale, I don't know whether the leadership are aware of how many residents actually wish for the TMO to come back. It's true. I'm sorry, but it's true. I assure you it's not rubbish. I would not stand here and say rubbish. If you don't want to hear it, if the deputy leader doesn't want to hear it or doesn't want to see the reality, then that's his lookout. This is actually a matter of really widespread and growing concern for many residents of Lancaster West Estate. And as Ward Councillor for Nottingdale, it's a matter that's really concerning to me also. The officers are aware that I want to see these concerns looked at and addressed. In terms of progressing that, there is some scope for this under budget scrutiny with Overview and Scrutiny Committee and with the Housing and Community Scrutiny Committee. And it will be really important as part of that work to draw particular attention to the aspects that relate to Lancaster West and the refurbishment as per your question. As Chair of the Housing and Communities Select Committee, I will also specifically bring this issue to my committee with a view to seeking the clarity and transparency that will address the concerns that residents have. It may be that there are matters for the Audit and Transparency Committee, and I'll also be speaking with the chair of that committee about this to try to get the transparency that residents need to allay the concerns that you've raised. Thank you.